Greetings, America. It is Friday morning, January, make sure I got that right, January 28th. Still 2022, the 21st century, the third decade. I always like to put that out there just to kind of highlight the actual time and the year, with respect to where we're supposed to be compared to uh, theorists who propose what our future would look like and where we actually are. That being said, a week ago today, I put out a video, and that video was in direct response to the events following the Michael Rosenbaum podcast featuring Jensen Ackles, where I was highlighting the the clickbait, the taking things out of context to create a sense of sensationalism, to potentially stir the pot, if you will, which is why part of that title was considered was is it what it is? All right, is it exactly what the media is portraying it to be, or is it something else? Is there greater truth that's being left out in order to stir the pot, to stir our demotion, to stir up our emotions, and keep us in these left and right camps, these red and blue camps, this you versus me or us versus them camps. And in addition, I was also responding to a video put out by Razorfist where he was directly responding to Joss Whedon after all of the stuff that he's faced, all the backlash he's faced over the last couple to few years. God, time really does fly. The first time he comments was a rather, quite frankly, the comment was quite ignorant. Gal Gadot's first language is not English, so perhaps she misunderstood. And I've since then gone on to elaborate in a follow-up video how that was potentially tone deaf. To include, I did some follow-on research, and I made a secondary video which I will comment on. So this will probably be one of two videos I post today, and that's if I actually approve of the first draft of this video. So a little background context. I started this channel a little over a year ago, explicitly with the intent of trying to build bridges where I had suggested, and I think quite accurately, that the media, whether it's social, whether it's legacy, or some variation of, does a fantastic job of misrepresenting information, to creating false narratives, to taking things out of context, and not in the sensationalism of Trump and fake news. But to his credit, former President Trump did have some truth to what he was saying, where media outlets of all types and sources are misrepresenting facts and creating false narratives, and for what purpose? So I created this channel with the intent of discussing topics and trying to bridge gaps where, okay, if I feel this way and you feel that way, well, if we're being influenced by media, let's get together and actually talk and hash it out and, see if we can find common ground, if we can bridge the gaps, if we can, do our own research, educate ourselves, and not be influenced like puppets, based on the media. And for the better part of a year, I focused heavily on socio-political content, which I should have known better because there's an extreme amount of individuals out there, doing socio-political content. I guess in my own mind, I thought, what I was bringing to the table was, with regards to my roots, I was, low income, out of the Chicagoland area. I joined the Marine Corps, so, I have the low income, background to start with. I've got the military background to start with. That makes me a veteran, which, by the way, Red Friday, remember everyone deployed. I'm also a husband and a father. I've also lost a child, so I had a pool of experience. Also, I've had to deal with some of the consequences of my immutable characteristics. I am a Caucasian heterosexual male, which, again, in the third decade of the 21st century, seems to be a negative characteristic. There seems to be a lot of, what's the word I'm looking for? Negative value associated with those immutable characteristics. So, I was thinking maybe perhaps my perspective might have some value, and to be quite honest, for the better part of a year, my channel has really amounted to absolutely nothing. I think I have a total of 9 subscribers the last time I checked. I average, quite honestly, I average 1 to 2 views to no views. So I go from 0 to 2 views. That's my average viewing pool. And this video I made a week ago, whether it's like my wife said, the labeling, or whatever, there was no intent to deceive. And this video's had over 300 views, which for my insignificant channel is a significant number. And as I said before, there was no intent to deceive. I was just trying to see if I could create some conversation regarding media sensationalizing things and whether or not what's being reported actually is what it is. And I made my point on Jensen Ackles, and I attempted to make a point on Joss Whedon before doing a little more in-depth research, which I did to a small degree, and I made a follow-up video. But I got some feedback. I got some feedback from strangers that I don't know, which to those people, Bill Kahn and Stacy Herbold, I would like to say thank you. Thank you for watching the video, and thank you for commenting. If it stimulates conversation between us, great. If you basically just made a statement and you don't wish to have any follow-on conversation or follow-on comments, that's cool too. But in all fairness, yes, I did make this a public channel. I did open myself up to the public, which means I opened myself up to, I guess, what you might call public scrutiny. So, in all fairness to everybody, I'm going to go ahead and read the comments, and I'm going to respond. I think that's fair, and I think that's rational. So without further ado, the first one to comment was Bill Kahn. I'm going to assume Bill Kahn responded on his phone due to some of the shorthand, and forgive me, I'm not criticizing, I'm just saying part of my individual personality is grammar, punctuation, you name it. But don't worry, I can read through this. So, in your comment, Bill Kahn, and I quote, "So you basically said because Joss Whedon's shows were popular and made stars out of the actors, it's okay for Joss Whedon to treat people the way he did. Like saying to black slaves, you should be grateful we brought you to America and gave you food and housing. Wow. Can't believe you said that considering he was racist to the black actor on the DC movie. You deaf a closet racist, and I can see it coming through, but you're trying to hold back. Seriously, what's wrong with you?" Okay, to answer your last question, what's wrong with me? Quite a bit, actually, especially for those who know me. Let's start with immutable characteristics. I'm Caucasian, I'm heterosexual, I'm male, and I'm a redhead. Those are immutable characteristics I can't get around, and in the current era we stand right now, 2022, those don't hold a whole lot of value, especially if you believe in the concept of intersectionality. These are things I have to deal with. All right, these are, how often do you hear about white privilege? Trust me, with my background growing up, I've never experienced white privilege. Because money doesn't quite discriminate against skin color. Physically, what's wrong with me? Well, after 20 years in the service, quite a bit. Tragically, to include TBI. Apparently, my short-term memory is not quite what it used to be, which sometimes has to cause me to go back and review certain things because apparently I can't hold on to it. Also, 7 days after retiring from active duty, I lost a child. Trust me, that was a traumatic event. Does that give me carte blanche and the ultimate freedom to be an asshole? No. Does it also give me the freedom to characterize and label people? No. Does it give you the authority to label people as a racist? No. But Bill Kahn, I don't know you. I don't know anything about you other than what you wrote as a comment to my video. If you're exclaiming that I personally said that black slaves should be grateful because we brought them to America and gave them food and housing. I never said that. If you're saying that my video is the equivalent of saying that, I also never said that. But to your credit, because again, I don't know you. I'm not gonna make characterizations about you, which I probably could, but I won't. Towards the end of my video, I did reference that in this modern era and with the current trends and social justice trends that are currently going through our society, I did mention that I'm surprised somebody hasn't complained or tried to make a bigger deal out of the gender identity of Buffy or Angel or the skin complexion of Buffy or Angel. Because, I mean, even right now as we speak, Disney's trying to, I think, do a live action of Snow White, but they're trying to make her Latina. The only reason I find that funny, not for racist terms, but Snow White, if I'm not mistaken, was written by the Brothers Grimms, which was written out of, I want to say, Eastern Germany, so basically Europe. And Snow White was called Snow White, if my memory serves me, because of her skin complexion, that her skin was as white as snow. Therefore, she was called Snow White, which was a nickname, not her actual birth name. So I just find it kind of funny that you're going to try to replace Snow White, who was written specifically by the Brothers Grimm to be a Caucasian person from a Caucasian land back like in the 1800s, and you're going to replace them with somebody who should be brown. So I was addressing that specific issue. If in your opinion that makes me a racist, I can't change your opinion, okay? You are free to form your own opinions. You, however, are not free to create your own facts. That is your opinion. Other than that, I don't know how I referenced anything racist regarding Ray Fisher. But if you believe I'm a closet racist, Bill Kahn, I would certainly enjoy the opportunity to have a discussion with you to defend myself. But perhaps maybe that's your mantra where, I don't know, perhaps maybe you're above and beyond just labeling somebody with negative values, and you're willing to have a conversation and stand behind your convictions and perhaps defend your actions. If not, it is what it is. Public channel. That's how you feel. Moving on to Stacey Herbold. I apologize if I mispronounce your name. It's not all of the sudden of the attacks against Joss Whedon. He used his position as a boss, as a power position, to harass females on set. While coming off as a feminist, he was still in control over those strong female characters. For a feminist who suggests an actress get rid of her pregnancy because it screwed with his plans is hypocritical. No argument there. Yet, I see the industry as part of the problem. In most businesses, there is an HR department that can keep the powerful or those that harass the employees, male or female, or even sensitivity training available. But the industry doesn't really have such a system, and we get problems like Weinstein and Cosby. While if he deemed Ray Fisher as a bad actor, fine. However, to demean an actress who was offended by him with the excuse that English is her second language makes lose any respect left. Now, I apologize, Stacey, I'm reading that verbatim directly from the comment made. I'm not suggesting that that's how you speak. I don't disagree. I do, with anything. Perhaps the industry does not have a series of checks and balances, like something of an HR department where, there's a tremendous amount of freedom to act a certain way. And I would argue all the way around. Actors and actresses acting poorly, content creators acting poorly, whether producers, whether directors. I would argue that it's all the way around. But in this case, yes, the focus is on Joss Whedon, and if he did potentially abuse his position, I'm not here to defend it. Again, I wasn't there, so I can't express an opinion based on being a witness. All I was attempting to exemplify was whether or not the media was framing this, and could there be other underlying truths that are not being represented in the media. If I didn't reflect that very well in my video, then that's my fault, and feel free to call me on it. But that's what I was attempting to say. And yeah, I think I've made the comment about Gal Gadot. That was, tragically, that was a very ignorant comment, and there's no real defending it. Yeah, especially for somebody who fancied himself a pioneer in feminism and whatnot. That was a very unfeministic thing to say about Gal Gadot, and it wasn't a very inclusive thing to say about Gal Gadot, with the whole English being her second language. And I've said this in a previous video. I haven't found anything wrong with Gal Gadot's English to where there would be any problem with her understanding what he was saying. And I also made a secondary video, which I'm not going to get into, but basically, you know, can two things be true? Can Joss Whedon be a brilliant content creator, yet also be a monster at the same time? Can different people have different experiences with the same person? Could Joss have been perceived by a monster to some and not to others? Could it also be stated that maybe Joss was, I'm trying to think of the right way to put this, not the best with his female actresses as he was with his male actresses? So many different things can be true. And again, if I didn't do the greatest job of emphasizing it, the point that I was trying to make, which is why the video was titled "Is It What It Is," was pertaining to the fact that, is the media actually portraying everything correctly? Are we getting all of the facts, or are we getting what the media wants us to have in order to stir up our feelings? And perhaps in the case of Bill Kahn, he's taking one particular side of the argument, and I apologize, Bill Kahn, I'm using a masculine pronoun. But perhaps Bill Kahn is taking one side of the argument where Bill Kahn believes that whatever the media is putting out there is 100% true, Joss is a 100% monster, etc. But once again, to Bill and Stacy, thank you again for watching the video. Thank you for commenting. And I do apologize if you were led to that video due to the titling and the video wasn't quite what you thought it was. Again, for Bill, with your accusations, I would extremely appreciate the opportunity for us to have a discussion. But at the end of the day, this is America, and you're free to think and feel how you want, and you're also free to express yourself. Just be very careful when you're labeling people, because, look it up, there are laws for libel and slander when you attempt to mischaracterize somebody for the sole purpose of being detrimental towards their livelihood and abilities. All right? Beyond that, thanks for watching. Once again, you know the drill. Like, comment, subscribe, whatever you got to do. But more importantly, like Bill and Stacy, leave a comment. All right? That starts the conversation. Talk to you later.